Hi everybody. Today we're gonna do a little bit of a Japanese themed dinner, but real quick. So I always like to roast whole fish. I got some striped bass here, and it's gonna be a very simple roast. What we're gonna do is we're gonna add. It's already pre-cleaned, so I don't have to do anything much more to it, right? Add a little bit of salt, a little olive oil. Okay, just rub that down. I'm gonna finish salt inside and outside. Right, salt. Not too much because you know it's seafood, and I'm gonna add soy sauce to it later, being that it's Japanese themed. And that's about it. No pepper, right? Because my oven is cranked to 500 or 550 degrees, as high as it'll go. All right. Because I want it to roast really fast. No sugar, no pepper, because that will burn. And we're gonna roast it in cast iron in the oven. Everything is hot, hot, hot. Okay, a little bit of oil. Take a little silicone brush, spread it around. You don't want the fish to stick. Okay, that's about it. I'm gonna put the fish in. Thick side facing in, okay? And basically you just drop it in. You want to hear that sizzle. And that goes back in the piping hot oven as close to the heat as possible on top. Alright? Because then it roasts from the heat on top. We're going to let that go. And we're going to eat that with a pasta, spaghetti. There's a certain kind of cuisine that's a Japanese interpretation of Italian cuisine. So we're going to do that. And it's spaghetti with basically flying fish roe, okay? Or Tobiko. I've had that before in Hawaii. It's delicious. And we've been having that ever since. Now that my kids are a little bit older, the younger one is going to eat that for the first time. So we're going to get that, take this out of the way. It's a very simple recipe, okay? I have a little bit of garlic. As you know, I always like to start with garlic, but not a whole lot of garlic this time. Just a little bit, because the Tobiko is a really, gentle, mild flavor. I don't really want to overwhelm it too much, and so I'm just going to use a little bit of garlic. You could use even one or two. Quick mince. Small chop. I don't want big pieces today. Right? Right, that's really fine, or as fine as you can go. And into the pan it goes. It's a cold pan, no heat, because everything is gentle today. Okay? Rinse the knife off cutting. Olive oil. Use nice olive oil because you want to have that greenness for this recipe. Now I turn the heat on, right? And it's going to go really slowly. I want it to just sweat. No browning. Okay? I'm going to crack a little bit of pepper. Again, I always like to crack pepper into the oil because you're infusing the oil, and so every mouthful has pepper flavor. Okay, so we'll let that go. Okay, so while that's going, is this water? I've showed you before. Half in the pot, half in the kettle. Saves you half the time. Now you have boiling water in half the time, right? Add salt to it. Right? Close it up so that it comes to a rolling boil. This is just plain spaghetti. You've seen me cook spaghetti before. For this recipe, spaghetti is suitable and to pick up the nice Tobiko. Okay, so this is already sizzling. I'm going to turn it down because I don't want it to brown. Okay, just gentle. even you're gonna almost turn it off. Okay, and we have lemon. I'm gonna use half the lemon for the seafood, half the lemon for the fish. So roll the lemon, right? Everyone knows that, or if you don't, that's okay. Just squeeze it over. That kind of cools the pan down, stops any browning. Actually went a little bit too far, but that's okay. Okay, so I'm going to turn the heat off actually for this one. Put the pasta in. And as usual, you just want to twirl it around so that it doesn't stick, right? Alright, we'll let that go. And the fish is roasting, that's cooking, and we'll be back. Alright, we're back. The pasta's done now, or pretty close to done, so I'll show you how to finish the pasta dish. Okay, so again, here's the garlic, right? And just olive oil and pepper. That's almost done. I'm gonna turn on the heat because I don't need that anymore. We're gonna add pesto, because basically it is a pesto. Ideally it wouldn't be any cheese, but you could grind basil with olive oil to make a green oil, but you want to be fast. So I'm using pesto. I'm going to add a little bit of arugula to it just for a little bit more nutrition, right? This will kind of wilt down really quickly. Okay, and the pasta goes in. The hot pasta will wilt everything down. There's no heat on the pan. Or I mean the fire's off. There's still some residual heat because it's a very hot, big pan. Put the pasta in. You want it to be still pretty al dente. Don't have to rinse your pasta. Never rinse your pasta. Okay. So that's what we have. I'm going to toss it a little bit because we don't want to cook the Tobiko. Okay, you can also use mentaiko, I think hot roll. But any kind of Japanese style. Now since it's wet, I'm going to turn the heat on a little bit maybe. Okay. Okay, want it a little bit greener, so maybe a little bit more pesto. Okay. Since there is pesto and there's cheese, I'm not adding too high of a heat because the cheese will burn and stick to your pan, and then you'll have a hard time washing. Anyway, this is more or less done. Off the heat. The last thing is the Tobiko. Okay? So they come in orange or black varieties. You can get it from your Asian or Japanese supply store, right? And there we go. All this goes in. You've had it on sushi, and it goes on pasta as well, but just maybe not as common for many people. But it's actually fantastic on pasta. Alright? Heat is off. Don't turn on the heat anymore at this point, right? And that you have the pasta. If it's a little dry, I'm going to add a little bit of moisture from the pasta. Alright, and that's done. I'll plate it up. because I gotta taste some of it to see if it's okay.
I want to try.
You wanna try? Here we go. I'm gonna try some of it. Very good. Should be briny, just a little bit salty. Very, very fresh, right? So that's done. Let me show you how the fish is doing. Okay, this is the fish where it's roasting really well. Now, I'm going to put a little bit of sake, right? Alcohol and fish always goes well together because you're kind of freshening up the taste. I'm going to put it back in to finish roasting. Turn it to broil. And we'll come back for the fish. I'll show you how it looks like. Hi everybody, we're back. You saw me put the sake on the fish. It's hardly been 5 minutes since I turned it on broiler. I turned it off. And the fish is done, I think. Let's take a look. Yes, this is done. So I'm going to pull it out and put it onto this platter. Just like that. This is a great platter to cook and serve fish in. Right? And it's very simple. Lemon. Pepper.
Could you click on my paper duck?
Yes, but hang on. Oh. And this is aged soy sauce, like really nice soy sauce that you don't cook with, you just season with. I'm going to put a little bit of that. And that's the fish. Okay, the fish is done. Now the pasta, this is optional, but some people do like to put seaweed. So you can buy shredded seaweed, or you can just put this seaweed. My daughter didn't finish her snack at school, which was this seaweed. So I have extra. I'm just going to crumble some on top. And seaweed is pretty common for this dish. Slivers. And we're done. See you next time. Don't forget to subscribe. Thank you.